Traders in the building, what's good, man? Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, I'm so glad that you've discovered me. And if you're a return subscriber, thank you so much for the continued love and support. You already know what time it is, man. It's that time of the week. I do the weekly analysis, and today I'll be analyzing the dollar index, gold, US30 and US100, and I'll be starting with the dollar index since it's the first on the watch list. Now, as you can see, I am currently bullish on this particular instrument, and to explain why, it's because we are in a bullish trend. I say this because we keep making higher highs and we keep making higher lows. That's very obvious to see. It's obviously out there. Another reason to note is that at the moment we are above this level of sensitivity, which is a support. This previously acted as a resistance, solid resistance. Price broke above, came back, couldn't break below that price, though it tried to test it many times. Eventually, now as you can see, we are getting that move to the upside. So how you can take advantage of this move is that you need to go to a smaller time frame, and on the smaller time frame, what you look for is areas of interest, areas of structure where you can potentially get those entries over there. So now, as you can see, I've already marked my areas of interest. These are the three areas that I'm looking at the moment as my areas of interest where price could bounce from. So last week we did anticipate this particular move where price could have bounced from this particular support, and we did see that this resistance could again act as a second support. As you can see, price broke above, gave a retest, and it went to the upside. So for the week that is coming, two things could happen next week. We could see that the market open and breaks above this particular structure, and if it does that, then that's good. It's a continuation to the upside. We await a retest, and on this particular structure, this is where we can take those potential buys or assume those potential buys. Or another thing could happen is price could open and maybe try to respect this area, just give us a little bit of a retest, and if it does that, it's not a problem. We're just gonna wait for price to tap this particular support, and this is where we want to take those buys to the upside. Really, that's all I'm looking for in this particular instrument. There's nothing more, there's nothing less. Moving on to gold, I am bearish on this particular instrument. As you can see, we did have this resistance, and now on March, I think it was on March, we got that breakout from this particular resistance. So I believe that the market eventually should come back and give us that retest before we can continue going up. So this is why at the moment I am bearish. I am bearish because if you go to a smaller time frame, you will notice that the market, though it was moving, it kept creating higher highs. We couldn't break. We couldn't rather create a new high last week. We did actually, but we ended up closing below structure. So I will need to move to the 4 hours so we can see structure over there. So we're going to study this price action over here on this particular time frame. So as you can see, we do have a trend that had formed in this area, a channel rather. So price went up and down, so reaching that high, then price failed to continue creating a new high rather, and then instead what it did is we saw price breaking this particular support that we had over here, turning it now into a newly formed resistance. So what I'm expecting is so this is just going to be for a short term, at least for until we can get this retest back to this support over here. We can use this price action over here that we're looking at and look at it as a retracement for this bullish move that we've been having. So this was an impulse, so potentially this is the beginning of a correction. We could see price coming back to this resistance. This is where we can start selling from, and if we happen to break below the structure again, this is where we can again take those short positions. But overall, what I'm looking for is for price to potentially come back to this particular support over here, because ever since we broke that structure, we couldn't really come back for a retest. And as you know, price can never just go one direction forever. Eventually we're gonna get that retracement. However, anything could happen. Now, what if price opens and comes back above this area of resistance? I think it's easy again. If price is trading above the structure, we can anticipate long positions, but for as long as price is below the structure, we can expect for the market to keep on coming down. That's all I have for this particular instrument. Moving on to US30, I am bearish on this particular instrument. So I don't need to go to a higher time frame. Let me rather use the 4 hour as a higher time frame. Let me use the 4 hours. So as you can see on this particular instrument, last week we did have a break out of this trend that the market had created. We got that break out of that trend, and my expectation was I expect for price to come back, retest the trend line, and then we can see the market move to the downside, because my thing was, if the market was supposed to continue going up, it shouldn't have broken below the trend. So if the market breaks the trend, then it's a signal, or rather it's a suggestion that the market could potentially be changing direction and giving us that retest that we were expecting. Because if you know, on a higher time frame, this market had broken past the highest high it has ever been. So we didn't get a retest ever since the market broke above this particular high over here. The market just kept on going up. So as you know, eventually the market has to give us that retest. So I believe this is the retest that we have been anticipating for so long. So I do expect for price to continue coming down. This is a structure that I'm currently eyeing at. I'm looking at this resistance as a potential area for a support where price could bounce from, and we can get a sale around the structure, or anything could happen if then the market happens to open and break below the structure. This is a retest we want, and we continue selling from that structure. So really, it's all about your creativity. It's all about how you analyze the market and how you look at it. You just need to be paying attention to any possible outcomes. Another thing is price. If it happens that it opens and it just continues dropping down, then it means this resistance is no longer this support will no longer be a support. Instead, it will turn into a resistance, and this is where we can start selling from. That's all I have for this particular instrument for the week that is coming. I'm moving on to US100, and I'm closing with this one. So at the moment, as you know, US100 is range bound. So last week I did suggest to you guys that if you are trading this market, you need to identify this is a high and this is a low of the range. And if price is at the low of the range, just buy. And if price is at the high of the range, just sell until price can break either at the upside or the downside. Either or, whether price breaks below or above, then that will give you the direction of the market long term. However, this week I have a different perspective, because now I do notice that this market has broken below the trend. So as you can see, this is a trend that we have, rather it's a channel, but focusing on this trend line, this uptrend, you can see that the market has been respecting this trend for some time, and we did respect this trend, and we got the break below the trend, and ever since the break out of the trend, we couldn't reach the high over here, and price just kept ranging on a smaller scale over there. So price has been a bit ranging on a smaller time frame also. So as you can see, I'm expecting that what could happen next week is maybe price could use this as a support again and respect it, just to give us a last retest of the trend line. Maybe could get to that resistance. It could not. It would all depend on what the market is doing at the time, right? But my highest anticipation is for price to just come back down below this trend, this support, turn this support into a resistance, and this is where we can start to see those sells. So this one is similar to US30. We do have this support over here, which is a major support that the market, since it had broken above, we haven't really got a retest. So I believe this would have been an impulse, and this it could act as a beginning of a correction move. So of course, because we have broken above, we have broken below the trend, we should expect the market to continue coming down. Because if the market was supposed to go up, I believe it shouldn't have broken below the trend. So for now, I am bearish on this particular instrument. You should also be bearish for as long as price is below this trend over here. That's all I have for this particular market for the week that is coming. Thank you guys for watching up to this far. If you found this video valuable, please give it a thumbs up. Comment in the comment section. Thank you for watching up to this far, guys. I love you, and I am out.